Give to Pierce now on the option. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, these two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, Week 7. And it was the visiting Texans who came away with a victory. So they'll look to take the season series if they can win here in Houston.
Run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And some space here. And he will finally be taken down at the Titans' 14-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame. They had trouble stopping the run last week in a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 10 more there and another first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Jackson, a 4-yard touchdown scamper.
And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the 6. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. First and 10 now. Willis and the Titans
at their own 25-yard line.
1st and 10, Willis.
And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted.
And the Texans are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception.
Forced out to his left.
Got his man, it's Bo Melton. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Another catch from Melton. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. The Texans have 13-1 now on the year. And they've been flawless these last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And let's give them a ton of credit, because in a league that's built on any given Sunday, any team can win. To run off this kind of a streak, this kind of a number, that's pretty darn impressive.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. A good chunk on the ground, and the keeper 17 yards, 1st down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Four yards remain for 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Titans are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there.
Oh, that is going to be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then he's got a man, complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too. Play action. It's Jackson. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Mike Williams hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The The Titans offense set to begin the drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. Willis takes a hit and the ball is free. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
They went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. To throw is Jackson. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. They go play action with Jackson. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 30, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
Takes it at the 7. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much. Do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they're going to face a 3rd down. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now in the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays, your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Jackson. He's got a man complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. Complete to Likely. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Option play, and it's a handoff to Pierce. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go play action now. Jackson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. What a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. This time Jackson will throw it. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Mike Williams with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that could be important, as that makes this a 16-point lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Willis on 1st and 10. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Oh, he fakes a spike. Blitz coming, and down he goes. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Going on 4th down. Here's Willis. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
The slot man in motion right. Jackson on first down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Mike Williams
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Texans are able to add on to their first-half lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 23.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Okay, great.
Looking to throw again on second down. Willis under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Here's Willis, 3rd and long.
And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They're going option play on 3rd down.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. It's picked up by the Titans. He's at the 50. 30. 20. 10. And they are going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. This pass complete to Melton. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now Jackson on first down. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Dante Jackson picks it, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they...
And now here's another interception. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Jackson now. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Well, they've certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. It just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
Hey, middle.
Give to Pierce now on the option.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Here's Pierce, is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
I give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5.
And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Looking deep for Adams. And my goodness, another interception.
Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
17 yards on that play for the Titans. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Henry up the middle. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Willis. Slant to Adams. And the Titans are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield. He's going to get it again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. No, he didn't spike it. He faked it. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. DJ Reader able to record his 5th sack of the season. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have...
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Texans are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
Jackson. He's got a man complete. The 30. 10. 5. Touchdown, Houston. Curtis Samuel, an even 90 yards. And the Texans extend their fourth quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Dafe Owe coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. From his own end zone, here's Willis. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack. To try again after the sack. Willis. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
No, we changed it.
Give left side for Pierce. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. On 3rd down, here's Pierce. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Throwing on 2nd down. Willis. And caught by Henry. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Willis. It's caught by Hooper. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. A first down carry for Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd. Oh, he fakes a spike. And nowhere to run for Willis. He goes down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. 3rd down, it's Willis. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jordan Poyer. And the Texans are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there's no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.